This is going to be in the form of a podcast, so get along at your own pace. A lot of times, men don't set boundaries when relating with women, when relating with the opposite gender in terms of their intimate needs. For most men, everything goes. They just want to satisfy themselves, even Christian men. It is common to go on a date or to get talking with a Christian man, and you'll be hopeful, you'll be excited that at least there's that foundation of Christianity. So both of you are going to see eye to eye, only for you to be shocked that this person lacks boundaries in relating with the other gender. In today's episode of the first Rara Show, we are going to be talking about boundaries in Christian dating, especially among men, or should I say, rather, the lack of personal boundaries among men, among Christian men. Should men set boundaries? Are men supposed to have boundaries at all? We will be centering on sexual boundaries. Is it okay to kiss? Is it okay to cohabit in a relationship? How about cuddling, sleepovers, hugging? How far can you go as a Christian? What kind of physical touch is acceptable in a Christian dating relationship? We are also going to discuss today the double standard of morality in our society. A lot of times, men can get away with so many things, unlike women who will be judged. Now, don't judge me, because even in the Bible, we have an instance of that where a woman was caught in adultery and she was brought to Jesus to be judged. She was going to be stoned to death. Where was her partner in crime? Because only the woman was singled out to be punished. Like, where was the man? That is the kind of double standard when it comes to morality that we have in our society. And this, unfortunately, has been going on for ages, even in the time of the Bible. Most people argue that men and women are different. And yes, men and women are different. We are different physically, genetically, hormonally. Our hormones are even different. One gender would by all means have an upper hand in an area than the other gender. For instance, women are better in domestic activities, whereas men are energy driven. So as a result of these differences, we have it that society has a different moral compass for men and a different moral compass for women. When it comes to the issue of morality, the standard is not the same. The standard is not balanced. And the bar for men, unfortunately, is so low that men can get away with a lot of things. They have a lot of freedom right from childhood, unlike women who will face a lot of judgment from the society. For most men in relationships, when the issue of sex before marriage comes up, they are open to it. It's like your standard is my standard. They are willing to compromise. Your boundaries are my boundaries. So most men do not have their own personal boundaries to direct their path, especially when it comes to the issue of intimacy and sexual needs. And one question to ask ourselves is, how can such a man lead the home as a high value man when he is not leading himself? High value is not just about material possession. It's not just about how much money you have. It's not just about how much wealthy you are. It's about character. It's about having emotional intelligence. It's about having your own individual values. It's about setting boundaries. And that is what a lot of men lack in centuries and in today's society. A lot of men will be on the loose. They'll be having fun with loose women, but when it's time for marriage, then they want a good woman to settle down with. Then they start asking questions like, what is your body count? Now they are interested in the number of men that those women have been with. That is a double standard. But before we get deeper into that aspect, is it even okay to have some physical touch in a relationship? And what kind of physical touch is appropriate in a Christian dating relationship? Well, physical touch is an expression of love, but not all physical touch is okay in Christian dating. For instance, kissing, fondling, caressing, they are not mentioned as sin in the Bible. In fact, the Bible states that we should greet each other with a holy kiss. But guys, it's a holy kiss, holy kiss. What goes on in the mind as you are having some of these activities, they are not holy thoughts. And that is what matters. What goes on in the mind, what you are thinking about as you are kissing somebody, as you are fondling or you're caressing someone, is definitely not holy thoughts. So it's definitely not a holy kiss. We are not zombies that you just take a woman and you start doing something with her without having the thoughts, without having those lustful thoughts. You first have those lustful thoughts. And the Bible already states that committing adultery is not even about the act itself, but the thoughts alone is sinful. So the fact that you have those lustful thoughts makes even the act a sin, because it's not even in the confines of marriage. So guys, before I continue with this video, give me a heart in the comments if you're still with me. Just drop me three hearts in the comment section if you have listened to this up to this point. Give me a heart in the comment section. So going back, this answers the issue of sleepovers, cohabiting, and so on. If you have decided to have a Christian dating and you find yourself dating somebody that you're attracted to, why would you put yourself in a situation where both of you are capable of doing the very thing that you have decided not to do? So that's it about sleepovers and cohabiting in a relationship. Why would you put your temptation to come live with you? There's gonna be a day that both of you will fall. So why would you take your temptation to live with you? It means that you are ready to fall. It means that you are ready to commit the act. So boundaries protect you, boundaries protect your partner, and boundaries protect your faith. If you are intentional about your Christian walk, you'll be intentional about certain boundaries, especially when it comes to the opposite sex. Who is supposed to set the boundary? Is it the man? Is it the woman? I believe that individuals should have boundaries even before coming together as a couple. So the woman should have a boundaries, men should have boundaries, and then when they come together, then you can know that, okay, are our boundaries in line with each other? Can we work together? Boundaries are not exclusive to women alone. Real men set boundaries. Back to the problem that we have in our society, the double moral standard. Where did it all begin? This begins from childhood. From childhood, the boy child and the girl child are raised differently. Yes, children should be raised differently due to different personalities, their temperament, gender, and the purpose for which they are on earth. But there should be no bias when it comes to morality and standard of living, like personal hygiene. Women are no more in the kitchen. Women are trying to make ends meet. So it's high time that men also try to level up when it comes to the issue of morality instead of being on the loose. Here's a little story time for you guys. In my preparatory school and my high school days, I had this headmistress. She was like a mother to us girls, and she used to have this frequent mother talk with us girls that I used to look forward to. We used to have this girls discussion just right in front of her office. She would teach us about how to take care of ourselves, how to protect ourselves from men. We would talk about male predatory, molestation, how we should beware of men. And we had these female teachers that would advise us on how to be clean, how to stay neat, how to live right as an adolescent during our monthly period, how to just take care of ourselves. Recently, I've been thinking, our headmistress, there was never a day that she called the guys to have those kind of mother talks with them. For the guys should criticize. It was like, these are the bad boys, so we should stay away from them. And even though we had this general assembly of both male and female, it was different from what we the girls had with her. That one-on-one. Even I didn't have such kind of moments with my mom. So the guys will be left in class to wonder about. They had free time whilst we were having our girls discussion. And although we studied about the physical, the hormonal changes that adolescents, boys go through, this is different from having someone to bear your emotions with, to bear your struggles with, someone to show you how to navigate the new feelings of adolescence and how to control them, or the emotions of lust, of anger, of frustration. Most parents do not even have such talks with their kids. So a lot of these boys learn from their friends. So the boy child is sidelined. They have no one to teach them the transition from boy child to adolescent to being a man, because the focus is on women. women are softer, women are more vulnerable, and it's true. But these are the same boys that grow to become men. And most men are only taught the responsibility of financial provision. I'm certain that you have heard this before. Just make money and the girls will come chasing after you. And while this is true to some extent, being a high value man does not depend only on how fat your bank account is, but it's about your morals and discipline as well, boundaries, especially with women. But the problem that we have had in our society is that from childhood, even parents with male and female children are more morally conscious of their female children. They prepare the girls for their husbands, but not likewise for the guys. The guys are not prepared to be husbands to their wives. Even their emotional state is normally neglected. It always seems like men must be unemotional. There must be some kind of people that lack empathy. When a guy laughs in today's world, he's called a sissy. He's called a woman rapper. My high school teacher used to tell us that a man must be ugly and fearful. I'm not saying that a man should be all feminine like a woman, but men can express emotions too. In fact, I hear a lot of people say things like men don't cry, and I'm going to be addressing such misconceptions later on, but let's leave it at that. A lot of times, men think that being a ladies' man is super attractive, but honestly, a man with boundaries, a man that knows how to set boundaries when dealing with women is more attractive. And if you're a Christian man, there's more reason to set boundaries. Once you choose to become a Christian, the Bible is the standard. Most times you see church boys go about hugging sisters here and there. Hugging in itself is not a sin, but the thoughts. And if you are having sexual thoughts whilst you are hugging somebody, if you are using that hug to feel or to satisfy some sexual or emotional needs, then it's a sin. There is a difference between struggling with a sinful habit and being outright immoral. And if you're struggling, the more reason to set boundaries. Eye causes you to sin. The Bible says you plug it out. Well, I'm not saying you should pluck out your eye, but all I'm saying is that we have to be intentional. Some people will say no sex before marriage, but at least let's be kissing, let's have sleepovers, let's be cuddling. But how do you jump over a fire and not expect to get burnt? Christianity is not just a religion, but it's a way of life. It's a day-by-day affair. It's abnormal to be on the fence as a Christian man. A man without self-control is like a city without walls, and that's in Proverbs 25, verse 28. A man who cannot say no to sexual advances from a woman is not a high-value man. A man that loves feminine attention and sees it as an opportunity is not a high-value man. So men can set boundaries as well, and boundaries are not exclusive to women. Have some personal boundary as a man with the way you relate with the other gender. Not hug me here, hug me there, hold me here, hold me there to just satisfy your lust. Okay, have some boundaries. You are more attractive when you have some personal boundaries. This brings us to the end of this video. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos. If you want to know if men are polygamous by nature, check out my video on your screen.